Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 48. The took us a while to figure it out, but the Tully Bantacane episode.
Really reaching with this one.
There not many famous 48s in Patriots history. Liam, I'm not even going to ask you. Liam's with me. Liam McDade, he's here. I'm Mike Sullivan. We're here. I'm not really going to sugarcoat anything. That was a shitty weekend for Patriots fans. But first and foremost, I do want to kind of just a little housekeeping. News came across the Twitter sphere today. Ty Montgomery's on IR.
Wow.
So that's
so much for his glorious career as a Patriot.
I mean, he had the one touchdown where he rolled into the end zone.
Pretty dope.
And other than that, I mean, he was really one of the lone bright spots this weekend. So Ty's out. I don't know how long he's out. I don't know, like, if that means he's out for the season or what's going on. I'm not that in the.
If you go on, I'm pretty sure that's a minimum of 8 games.
6? Yeah, it's like 6 to 8 weeks or something.
It used to be 6, but since they extended the season, I think they made it 2 extra games.
Oh yeah, because now it's 17. I forgot about that.
Yeah, which I'll never get used to.
Yeah, that I don't like that. But yeah, he's out. But the Patriots did also sign Marcus Cannon to the practice squad. So little bit of a mixed bag with that. Patriots lost this weekend 20-7 to the Dolphins. We're not going to
just get it out there.
I'm trying to be happy. This weekend sucked. Liam, just opening thoughts before we crack this rotten pistachio open.
I mean, what thoughts do I really have? It's terrible. And I want to put this in context here. Week 1 is usually kind of a crapshoot for most teams. Like, I'm sure if you're a Cardinals fan right now, you feel terrible. Yep. Particularly, I don't feel great. I was so psyched up, so assured that the Patriots would win. And watching that game, I felt like shoving an ice pick in my urethra. Just true, devastating, crippling pain that didn't subside even when the game ended. And it lasted until yesterday, and now it's still lingering where it's on the verge of healing because I'm looking forward to better performances down the road. I don't know. It just sucked. Completely sucked.
I don't think you ever need to bring up shoving anything up anyone's urethra. That is one. I don't know why, but that's one of my weird nightmares. That's something.
That's your pet peeve.
Something is gonna get lodged somehow.
Have you ever heard about the fish in the Amazon that crawls up people's dick holes?
See, okay, I have heard about that. I don't think that's a real thing. I think was like so. Okay, it is. Well,
it was on 1,000 Ways to Die, which is why you would think it's not a real thing. But then I know a guy who got one in his dick and tried to pull it out and ripped his dick off.
Because I think, oh my God, I think every guy has an irrational fear that, like, whenever they're pissing outside, it's like, this is it. This is the time.
Something's going up there. Whether it's a fly, a bee, a fish, a turkey, anything.
Which I still do think I may take that punishment over the punishment that was this game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I do want to get it out there just real quick. I'm not out on the Patriots.
No.
This was a swift kick in the dick, like the fish that climbs up. This was horrible. And I feel like we should have known. We should have known. We were all pumped up. Yeah, we're going in there. Miami, House of Horrors, the Twilight Zone. This is gonna be the year. Should have known from the first drive that this was not going to happen. Things are rolling. We're going down there. Passes. Max looking good. Running game's looking good. We got people making appearances. Awesome. Jonnu Smith's on the field. All this fun stuff. And then pretty much the misery started. Mac Jones, nice bomb, 50-50 ball, Devontae Parker. I don't fault him for the throw. I think it was on first down too. So I don't, even if it wasn't.
Be bold.
If you're going to do it, that's why you signed Devontae Parker. For those plays. So
literally
toss it up to
sole play of 50-50.
Yes, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he didn't get held. He did, but that's neither here nor there. That gets called every
time. I think that's important though.
It is. I hate I hate using it as an excuse, but in my
Yeah.
head, I can't not, because very clearly he did. And could Parker have gone up for it, a little bit
Obviously,
more? Of course he could have. Could the ball not have been tipped backwards right to the Dolphin safety?
Yep.
Of course.
Could Parker have sold it a little more and kind of flailed when he was, grabbed?
He
Like,
certainly
yes.
could have. He certainly
Yeah.
could have, but we keep forgetting this is Miami. This is what happens down here. Balls take weird bounces, and it bounces, instead of going out of bounds, bounces into the hand of the safety.
Yep. You put Gronk back there to make a tackle on a Hail Mary, and the motherfucker misses it. It's
I know.
crazy.
I was at the
That's
game. I know.
why Miami is Miami. That's why everyone goes down there to party. It is America's House of Horrors, truly a crapshoot through and through. Their main export, sunshine, guns, and cocaine, really fits the city when it comes to football. The place is just nuts. Every time we play in Miami, something crazy is going to happen.
Every single time.
That first drive sucked, though. Like that, for a first drive like that, of the first drive of the season to go that way in the first game, that is tough to overcome. If that happened, the second time we play Miami, I think it's in week 9 or something like that, like down the line, we get a couple games under our belt and that exact same thing happens. First drive, we throw it, gets tipped up. You've had time to play with each other. You've been through battle ready situations in game. The first drive, the season, that happens. I knew kind of then it sets a poor tone. The players are like, oh, it's going to be one of these kind of games.
Yep.
All the Patriots probably thought that he was held. All the Dolphins thought that it was a clean play.
Matt Jones was yelling.
Yeah. Yep. And stuff like that. If you don't have the cohesion with your new team, that is a momentum killer. The Patriots' momentum was stopped dead in its tracks. I'm almost surprised we got a touchdown at that point. And it's a sign of a weak football team, but it's also a sign of this is week 1. Like I said, they're not battle tested together yet. It just sucked that it had to go down that way. I don't like calls that can shape the outcome of a game. It sounds so dramatic because it was on the first drive, but after that, the outcome was set in stone. You're like,
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're driving. If you go, you have to. I think at that point the Pats were in field goal range, I believe.
Yeah,
I think they were on the 30-something yard line, so they were in there. Nick Folk was going to hit it no matter what, which that's why I picked him up in fantasy. It didn't do anything, but I
picked Harrison Butker, rolled his fucking ankle.
yeah, that's bad luck. It was just one of those things where like and I don't even know if it's necessarily, because I know you said that, it's a sign team hasn't played together, all that stuff, but I feel like it's just you don't want to use this excuse. It's not a good excuse, but it's just, I think it was a perfect storm of you're in Miami. So obviously there's just that like aura, the people think things are going to happen. And the Patriots just made their mistakes that they make in the first 4 weeks.
The players hear the media too. Like it's basically a rule now that in Miami some fuckery is going to happen and we're going to either grit and grind out a small win or we're going to lose, and we can lose handily, we can lose on the last play, but it seems like the rule is we're going to go to Miami and lose. And this was no exception to it. Tua is 4-0 against us. The only player to be 4-0 against the Patriots is Tua.
He wasn't even good. That's the thing.
No,
he wasn't like the whole, because you would think like if you're looking at this from Miami's perspective, that first game of the year, the Patriots come into town, and that name still holds weight because it's the Patriots, Belichick. It's the evil
They're
empire.
Still pent up from the 20-year ass kicking.
You beat them 20-7. You make them look, you kind of exactly. But still, all anybody can say is, but I still don't think Tua is the guy. I don't even think Miami fans truly think that way.
I mean, Tyreek Hill ran that 20-yard comeback, and that skip pass.
And
it was really embarrassing.
So bad. I think that was his first throw of the game.
Yeah, I thought it was later.
Or no, that was his first throw of the game. Just wasn't good.
Wasn't great. That one was really bad. But I'm thinking
like it
was on the right sideline, the far side of your screen.
I remember because he was open.
I wasn't sure if it was tipped. Correct me if I'm wrong. It very well could have been tipped. It looked like there was just no velocity on the ball.
I think that's just how he throws.
It went out, hit the ground like 10 yards before Tyreek Hill. He was like, "Oh my!"
God, it was so bad. And then everybody's giving Miami and him credit for that 4th and 7 touchdown before the half. And like, let's just be honest, that was Tyreek Hill was open, but he had two Patriots defenders run into each other. Then Kyle Duggar took a shitty angle on him. Like that. Let's not. People are talking. If you, and I hate to say this, if you take that away, the Patriots defense only gave up 9 points.
Yeah.
Because one of the touchdowns that Miami scored was on the strip sack, which no one decided to block Max blindside. So that was good.
Yeah.
So the defense, to me, a bright side. They only let up 13 points.
To worry about.
You can't, although
Judon was in there on every play too.
Judon was in there. You had people. There was one person, and I think it's early. I know he's going to have a good season. I picked him to potentially get defensive player of the year votes. Christian Barmore, 0 tackles. Nothing. He was in. I hate if you don't hear a player's name or something, you're like, well, where were they? What were they doing? But normally you at least see him disrupting, moving the pocket, pushing people back.
Vince Wilfork would have 0 tackle games and ruin 5 plays.
But he would be the MVP of the game. Yeah, but there was nothing. I mean, you had Dietrich Wise come in, who's a captain now. He had a sack. He had a good year. Judon, like you mentioned, a lot of people. What's his name? Jawan Bentley, good game. Kyle Duggar, good game. Kind of mixed bag with him, but Kyle Duggar still good. Miles Bryant, send him to the moon. This was his worst game ever.
This was really bad. Tyreek Hill. So this is why everyone was so hyped up that Miami got Tyreek Hill. They're talking about how it's a game changer, how the Patriots are going to be last in the division. He was pretty damn good by just about all metrics. Did you see the? Okay, so
9 for 8 for 94 or something like that.
Yeah,
9 for
which
94.
like the yards aren't incredible, but he was just out there making like Tyreek Hill-esque plays with Tua's not so incredible quarterbacking. Tua hung a pass on the left sideline. Easy money for Jack Jones to pick it off. Right there in the breadbasket.
Rookie.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Tyreek made the veteran play. Gets up in his chest, box him out in midair, steals the ball way up above Tyreek Hill. Jack Jones about to pick it off, and Tyreek just snags it out of his hand, comes down and gets an extra 2 yards maybe. But that should have been a turnover. Should have been.
That's the shit I'm talking about. In Miami, you get the ball goes right.
So bad.
I mean, dude has 3 armbands per arm. Can't catch a ball. Like, and I get it. He's a rookie. He's a corner. That's why they're on defense.
Yep. And he's going against Tyreek Hill, perennial, top 5 wide receiver.
But I'm still not sold that Tyreek Hill changes this team though, because if you take away that breakdown well, actually no, that was actually Waddle that
was really fucking bad.
But that was horrible. But still, like, people, they were containing him pretty well.
Who lost Waddle? Was that McCourty?
It was everybody. I think it was I think Jalen Mills got taken out by
taken out at the knees,
Bentley or someone, and then Duggar took the bad route. It was just a shit show. It was horrible. It wasn't great, but I'm not worried about the defense. Defense was fine. Nope. I mean, you give up 13 points, you expect to win that game. They didn't, because Mac Jones. By the way, Mac Jones had 213 yards passing. He had Mac Jones stat line. I actually have it here. Hold on, because it's actually kind of funny. Who I want to do one of those blind reveal type things. So, Mac Jones stat line. He had 21 of 30. It doesn't really matter. He had 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, QBR of 87.2. There's another quarterback out there. This quarterback had 212 yards, so 1 less yard, pretty big.
Yeah.
Touchdown, interception, and a QBR of 87.3, 0.1 points higher. Do you have any guess who that second quarterback is?
Would it be Bailey Zappi?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady had 1 less yard and a smidge better of a QBR. But his team won. That's all that matters. Yeah. So it's one of the. It's just I just thought it was funny.
His team gave up 9 points. Tom Brady scored 19.
His team gave up 9. Patriots gave up. Defense 13. Gave up 13. It's like just I don't know. So it's just funny how stats can be so similar, but the outcome's different. So when stats don't tell the whole story. Mac Jones, by the way, like I said, 21 of 30. I had no real issues with Mac in this game. I know he got the strip sack. I don't know what you're supposed to do when someone, I guess he have seen him before the snap, maybe, but he was kind of, the safety was creeping down as Mac was doing.
I don't blame anyone for the blind side. Like every quarterback gets strip sacked. Like
no, you can't blame
the best fucking quarterback you can think of. Tom Brady got strip sacked to lose a Super Bowl
so many times. So the person I'd blame would be Trent Brown and Hunter Henry, because they were on that side. Hunter Henry didn't chip him. He ran right past him. Hunter Henry did not do a thing. Trent Brown.
Hunter Henry's not a blocking tight end, but like, come on, give a little shoulder, give something.
He's average, so he should have known something was going on there. But either way, the strip sack, that was another thing. Another omen, another sign where it's like, I don't think this is going to go the way that we want it to go, guys. I don't think so. But
it was definitely not great. Like one of those things where you just knew, you're like, we're sinking, we're in quicksand. We're not dead yet. We're not, heads not under the sand yet, but we're getting there. Mac, I think overall though, like if I have to give him a letter grade, I guess I would say, solid B- is what I would say. He wasn't bad. The decisions were there. The decisions were fine. One of the plays that I thought was left on the table was he had all the time in the world for multiple plays, and that's when he would kind of he would have an A if he could complete these where he would
just one of them, and that's a little on him, little on the the receivers,
on the receivers for not getting open too, because he tried. And like, who am I to say, like, he was back there for so long, couldn't find anyone open. He could very well be back there for 10 seconds ago. Can somebody fucking get some separation? Because the camera's looking at him, it's not looking downfield. I would
exactly. We don't know the route. We don't know what's happening.
Yeah. But the one I'm talking about was he had a good 7 seconds in the pocket, and eventually throws it to Jonnu Smith down the middle of the field, who was double, maybe even triple covered. But it was great placement where Jonnu goes up, and it's one of those things where I'm like, this is a big play that he can make that can take the momentum back from that early shitty interception. Didn't go that way. A lot of contact, but I'm not going to blame it on pass interference. Jonnu just flat out didn't make the play. He got a lot of opportunity though, and I like to see that Jonnu was able to do that. I wish he could have completed that play.
I mean, I think Jonnu got what, like a 3-yard out into the flat and took it for a first down. It's one of those things where that catch alone made me think like, okay, perfect. Things are changing a little bit. There was also a play with Mac where he hit Jacoby Myers down the sideline. It was that catch. Jacoby went up and like snatched it on the sideline, caught it. It was like a 30 something. If you watch that play, there's a rusher coming right at Mac's face. If he had an extra second to throw, he's probably leading Myers there, and then who knows what's happening. That could be a touchdown, because Myers had like a step and a half on him, and it looked like that's where it was going, but it looked like Mac had to kind of short arm it, couldn't fully step in. Whatever, it ended up not going all the way, but it was just one of those things where it just missed opportunities, combined with bonehead plays, combined with poor play, and then this is what happens. You lose to Miami. You're 0-1, and just to let everybody know, the the Rams are also 0-1. The Packers are 0-1. The Raiders are 0-1. Let's not act like this is the end of the world. It's because I don't think I mean, the Colts don't even have a win or a loss. They tied. So,
with the Texans too. Which at least it's not the Texans.
Hot take, that's gonna screw them over at the end of the year. Because ties always throw things out of whack, because then like you don't have as many wins, and if you do, it's strength of schedule, and your strength of schedule is never going to be as much because you tied. So I think the Colts, that's a screwy thing for them, but this isn't the end of the world. Obviously there's a lot more to talk about, but kind of the elephant in the room, Matt Patricia. Let me get it off my chest real quick. I know everybody's saying, let's fire Matt Patricia. Let's get done with him. What about this game, play calling wise? There's always going to be some dumb plays. Like I jotted down 2 plays. There's a 2nd and 17 they ran with Ty Montgomery. Probably not the greatest decision. There was a 3rd and 3 they ran right up the middle. I think it was like 10 minutes left in the fourth. So, I mean, you like to see
Third
some
and
different
three,
things
though,
with
running
that.
up the middle, I don't think is the worst thing in the world.
No, especially because they were going for it on fourth down. So it is what it is. But there's nothing that I saw here that made me go, oh my God, Matt Patricia can't call plays. The game, the plays weren't there. The protection. I mean, Mac only got hit, I think, 3 times, technically 3 QB hits, but he was rushed a little bit throughout. It was just a shit show.
The offensive line was not great.
The offensive line was spotty at best. I mean, they were good at points. They were bad. The Patriots were running the ball really well, but then they got behind, so they had to throw. Dolphins defense knew that, so they started putting more pressure on Mac. So far, our first little dip into the pool of Matt Patricia, I'm willing to see what's going on because they're running a lot more 12 sets, which is obviously 2 tight ends, 1 running back. I like that. You pay 2 tight ends, put them on the field.
Use them.
I have no problems with the plays that are being called. I would just like to see the plays kind of develop more and maybe evolve. There were no trick plays, which I thought was weird, but I
know.
I have no qualms with Matt Patricia right now. I'm still willing to, give him a few more weeks to see what's going on.
Yeah, this is a classic. Do you watch or listen to the Bill Simmons podcast at all?
Here and there, yeah. I used to a lot more.
Yeah, I'm a fair weather fan. It'll come up on my YouTube and I'll throw it on. But one of the things that he came out with was his overreactions to week 1. And he talks about how that's all anyone seems to do. Week 1 happens and everyone goes, this is how it's going to be for the entire season. And everyone just loses their mind. Like, no, as much as it's possible, I don't think Patty Mahomes is going to throw for 5 touchdowns every week. I don't think Josh Allen's going to have 4 turnovers and 2 rushing touchdowns. I don't think all this crazy shit's going to go on.
No.
That's not the standard for the entire year. I am more than willing to be patient, let this Matt Patricia thing play out. He was with us for multiple Super Bowls. I don't know why he's the scapegoat, but people are
everyone
so quick
hates
to jump
him now. We
loved
him when he was here. It's left.
So strange.
And now, it's same thing with Joe Judge.
I
think
they forget.
Yeah, we loved them when they were here. Then Matt Patricia went to Detroit, sucked, came back. All of a sudden,
and then all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Holy shit, he's terrible! Why would he come?" Same thing with
Joe Judge.
Yeah. But we talked about it earlier. I almost liked the aggressiveness of Matt Patricia's play calling. Like you said, first down, throw it deep to Devontae Parker. That's why we have him. That's a play call that I like. If I was an offensive coordinator, that's what I would do because Damian Harris was getting steady feeding the rock. They had Hunter Henry on the sideline, threw it to Damian Harris, kept pounding the ball. You've established the run. You're throwing small out, stinking dunks. If you're in the 20, take a shot. Air it out. They weren't expecting that.
I was saying it. Take a shot. Take a shot. Take a shot. And they did. Perfect. No issue with that.
And I don't mind even like the interception. That sucks. If you threw a clean interception with no pass interference, I'd be like, hell, you tried. I'm just mad because, there was some grabbing and some Deshaun Watsoning from the defender. And I'm like, please.
Very Watson-y. I
was like, can you not rub Devontae Parker down while he's trying to catch the ball?
Not the time. Not the time.
Time and a place. Go talk to Deshaun. He will tell you specifically when and where and how you can do this within the bounds of legality. It was just ugly. And I don't know. The result was ugly, but I liked the intention. And why not? Why not give it 2 more weeks? By week 3, if it sucks, Bill Belichick, I still have all the faith in the world. He can be like, yeah, this isn't working. You go back to what you used to do great, and I'll take over this. And hell, our season turned around after week 5.
We went 1-3 last year. We ended up making the Super Bowl. We went 10-7. Like everybody's freaking out. Calm down. And I hate to keep saying calm down, relax, because I also want to bitch about this game. I did not like it, but it's just like last year we talked about where there's levels to it. There's people calling for Matt Patricia's job, all this stuff. You got people saying that, but Kendrick Bourne. That's another. That's
my next thing that I want to bring up.
I
know this is your boy.
I want to round out the Matt Patricia thing though.
Yes.
I think this is going to game is going to be a nice building block because I don't think that they really emptied the bag. We didn't see that many screens either. They threw one screen, and it happens all the time. They throw a screen or something. I'm like, I hate that. And then like, cause it was 3rd and something, they ran for a first down. I was like, I love it. Love it. That always happens with the toss too. I hate the toss, but it works. So there's so many more things that can happen. You just got, it's week fucking 1. Like, calm down.
Overreact all you want. Get your anger out, but
sure.
No, none of this is serious. Yeah,
That's
we're not taking you seriously.
You got Tommy Curran talking to NBCSN or whatever, saying that Kendrick Bourne got benched because maybe he wasn't adapting to the offense, that it got the eye of Robert Kraft in like what the fuck. And as he's talking, he's going, I was told, and then he'll say, it was my understanding or what I gleaned from
your
this.
Understanding is, and it's like stupid.
All you're doing is seeing a situation, and literally when you say my understanding or whatever, you are straight up saying what I'm about to say is opinion.
So I'm assuming, I'm going out on a leap here and saying
that's what
Kendrick
it is.
Bourne has no idea how to run a route, and you're just like, that makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Dumb. So dumb. But with Matt Patricia, I like it. Keep going. I like the aggressiveness. I do want to see, I hope that we still get a fair amount of trick plays tossed in, because I think that's a staple of the offense. I do also hope
hilarious.
I thought we were going to get a flea flicker on one play, and I freaked out. Awesome. But I think it was a play Damian Harris ran for like 7 yards, so I was cool with it. But I also hope we get a lot more screens. I hope we get those next week. We'll talk about that real quick at the end of the podcast when we do the Steelers review. But that's just where I land on Patricia. I'm still open to everything. I know everybody hates him. He's the scapegoat right now. I don't agree with it. I think next week we'll kind of start to build on that, and people will stop hating him for no reason, and they'll find someone else to hate. So, you wanted to bring up my boy Kendrick Bourne.
Yes. Can I preface?
I think we all did. Yes, of course. Please.
The fumble wasn't great, but how about Nellyville?
Aguilar was the one who got the screen when I said, oh no. And then he ran for like 15 yards. It was the first time. I was like, oh yes.
5 targets, 3 catches, 28 yards. He did have that fumble, but he got bodied. I would fumble that. I think Jerry Rice would fumble that.
Yeah, no issue. That's the thing. The Patriots lost, but I don't have issues with many people. Like Devontae Parker only had like 2 or 3 passes, 2 or 3 targets like that. He'll get integrated more. Like Nelson Aguilar did well. He showed up. Like you put yourself in a hole where like you were down 2 scores the entire game pretty much. So you had to go away from running the ball, which sucks because they were running pretty well at first. I think they were ripping off like 10 yards a run or a little bit less or something to start the game. It was but you had to get get away from it. So Nelly, I like it. He gets my vote of confidence. I know that I have not always been great to him. I'm in Nellyville. I'm on the bus entering.
When he wins us games, I'm gonna need an official apology.
I will give it. I hope that I have to come on here, hat in hand, saying, "Please, sir, let me into Nellyville."
Yes,
I hope that happens. So, Nelly, good job, good start. Let's go.
Yep, welcome to Nellyville. All right, so it does sound lame that we're boasting about a guy who had 28 yards. Let's talk about the dude who didn't get any fucking yards.
That's a lie. He got yards. Kendrick Bourne.
Metaphorically.
No, keep going. No, say your piece about Kendrick Bourne.
So is this just because I remember you telling me in training camp that toward the end when they were fighting with the Panthers that Kendrick Bourne was in the doghouse pretty bad. And I was like, yeah, like that's just talk. I'm sure he's a shit talker. Like he is the big personality of this team. When I was at training camp, he's going around hugging everyone. He's talking smack to defenders while at practice, going up to everyone, very dramatically high-fiving everyone. I like it. He brings big energy. I wonder if that rubbed Bill the wrong way. Maybe he, friggin' hurts. Somebody gets hurt in practice or something. He's cracking jokes, or it's supposed to be a serious time and he's not taking it so serious. Is he in the doghouse, or is this just kind of a personnel thing?
What happened with him, and it kind of came out a couple hours before we started recording.
No shit, yeah. So I haven't seen it yet.
see, I had today off, so I was just perusing Twitter trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So he come to find out that week, that Carolina week is kind of when everything started for him. I guess he was late to practice or late to like the practice before the practice where they take attendance or whatever. So he was late getting to the stadium. And then a couple days later, that's when the fight happened. He got kicked out of practice, all that stuff. So he was in the doghouse then. I feel like what happened is that he wasn't having a great camp. All that whole week happened. And then you have Devontae Parker. He's going to get his snaps. You're not going to sit him down. Jacoby Myers is the best maybe not the best, the most reliable offensive option on the team.
I would agree.
You're not going to sit him down. And then you got the 2 tight ends who also need playing time. The Patriots also like to run the ball a lot. So it's one of those things where and then you got Aguilar, who is going to be in there. I feel like it was between Aguilar and Bourne to see who was going to get more time. Kendrick Bourne kind of, showed his ass a little bit. And I don't think that this is necessarily punishment. I think the punishment happened and these are now the consequences for it. He got leapfrogged in the depth chart. That's what it is. He did come in though. He came in immediately 41-yard pass down the sideline. He caught it. So like, and then that didn't help. That didn't help because then everybody, Bill, why don't you pick? We got idiots saying that he's the most explosive he's the best. He's the number 1 receiver on the team. He is probably the number 3.
Started over him is the most explosive.
Like, come on. But I do agree. I do agree. Kendrick Bourne. We said jet sweeps with Kendrick Bourne wins you games. There were no jet sweeps with Kendrick Bourne. You didn't win the game. It's not a coincidence, Bill. But so I think that's what's going on with him. I guess rumor has it that he's expected to get more playing time against the Steelers, but that's
he will. I have no doubt about it. That's how Bill runs it, where he's like, he doesn't hold grudges. Bill it's not going to be week 6 and Bill will go, Bourne, we just can't trust him in big moments because he got in a fight against the Panthers. No, that's not how he rolls. You will serve your punishment and you'll be out and then you'll be deemed even like everyone else until you do something stupid again or do something great again. He'll hold you in high regard. But just like with Tom Brady, I don't care if you won me 6 Super Bowls. I hold you to the same standards as everyone else. Your greatness doesn't outweigh anyone else's greatness because everyone had that same part. So I like Bill's entirely fair. This is his punishment for whatever the fuck it did, whether it was that fight, which it probably was.
Yeah, probably stemmed from that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not psyched because I think he was the best receiver that we had last year. Like you said, Jacoby's definitely more reliable.
Would you call it? I don't know, dynamic. I don't want to use explosive because I wouldn't. But like I guess in that realm. Right.
I would say dynamic just because he scored the most. Jacoby finished with 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. He couldn't score. Remember? That was the whole that's his life.
You got Bourne, who's making a sideline catch against the Saints, losing a guy on the sideline, reaching across the pylon, scoring. You got his deep touchdown against the Cowboys, stuff like that no other receiver was doing.
Nope.
So it's like I guess I would say dynamic because he's doing it all. In that
that's
sense.
the word. I think that's the word. And he'll get his time. Yeah. I hope. And if he's in the game, I'm still not saying the Patriots win. Who knows what the offense looks like? Like no one can know. So the people that are saying that they definitely would win, shut up. You're just looking for something to complain about. The people who say they definitely wouldn't win, you don't know that for sure. So who knows? He's going to be back in the lineup. That's what everybody is saying, or that's like the word out there right now. All his teammates are behind him. So it doesn't seem like there's any sort of like lingering effects. Mac is behind him. Matthew Slater's there. Point. Everybody.
Like no one holds him, to any like I can't believe he did this. With the Patriots, it's forgive and forget. Hell, we sat Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl. Like if you break the rules or you piss Bill off, doesn't matter the occasion. First game, last game. I don't give a fuck what it is. You are serving your punishment, and that's how I like it. An entirely fair ship, whether it wins us games or it doesn't. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets treated the same. That's a winning organization.
That's how it should be. And that's the thing. It's always no one cares until it's a player that you like or the outcome isn't what you want. So if Bill's punishing play, he got rid of what's his name? Adalius Thomas for showing up late. All this stuff, players not showing up in snowstorms. Like all these things. But it's like once it's a player that you like, or once it's a player on the offense, when the offense doesn't do well, it's, oh my God, how did Bill do this? But yet this is what's gotten your team to this point. I mean, you even had Troy Brown say it before the season started. I think it was like preseason week 3 or something like that. Because they asked him about Kendrick Bourne. He said he's doing his thing. It's just, we're gonna play the guys who get the reps and earn the reps. Like this has been building. So this shouldn't have been a surprise. The fact that he played only 2 snaps, I think maybe that's a surprise.
Yeah.
But the fact that his playing time got diminished should not be a surprise. The entire training camp or preseason led you to this point. You saw it happening. You saw Nelson Aguilar leapfrog him in the depth chart. You saw Devontae Parker and Jacoby Myers. Like it is what it is. Lil Jordan Humphrey, by the way, fan favorite for us. He is now on the 53-man roster. He took what's his name spot. So he took Ty Montgomery's spot. So who knows? But yeah, I'm not upset. Like, I don't know if we would have won. Who knows? I always say, if you're going to ride with Bill Belichick, you have to, for the decisions that work out, that don't work out, you can't cherry pick which ones you want to go with and which ones you don't. So
he's either a genius or he's an idiot. Pick one.
Exactly. And track record, the guy's a genius. So sure, some decisions don't always work. Some are questionable. Some are befuddling. No issue with this. You have to keep everybody in line. It is what it is. But kind of sucked because I do like Kendrick Bourne. As you know, that's my boy. I'm a Bourne guy.
Guy's got swag. Yeah. But I was definitely psyched. I would be a lot more psyched if Nelly absolutely fucking crushed it. And then I'd be like, Kendrick Bourne, who? Like, give this guy the max, which we kind of already did. But
yeah, a little bit. I don't know. The offense looked like a week 1 Patriots offense. They always look like it, and it's the same shit every year. I feel like I said this last year. Every single year, the first 4 weeks are always a little meh. They always look a little strange, like they have
especially
really
now,
good weeks.
No one plays in the preseason.
Exactly. And on top of all that, you're adding in a whole different offensive system. And it's like things are going to move a little bit slower. I know. And then you got people like, oh, they wouldn't look like this if Brady was here. Blah, blah. Okay. So you're saying that Mac Jones isn't Tom Brady. Cool. No shit. Yeah. We know this. Like this isn't a Tom Brady team. This is a team that's learning a new offense that has a ton of dynamic, talented offensive players. And they left a game out there. It is what it is.
Devil's advocate, though. Let's compare them to another extremely successful organization with a stud head coach, the Chiefs, who went out in there. It's not a new offense, but they went out and crushed it with new personnel. They have 3 new wide receivers. One of them's a rookie. Went out there and crushed it. All of them performed. Patrick Mahomes firing on all levels. What's your compare and contrast there? Because how did the Chiefs kill it, but the Patriots struggle?
I mean. First of all, Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna create things. But Jesus. I mean, at the same time, though,
so much better than Brady.
I think their offense right now, I think their offense is it's built differently. It is built because they don't have this whole new offense, like you said. So they're still kind of running with the home run type offense with your receivers that go down there. And it's definitely frustrating. Don't get me wrong, because you see all these other teams, like, when the Packers were on all cylinders, when you have even the Bills, teams that just their offense looks so different. And it's like, oh, I want the Patriots offense to look like that. But this is just the Patriots offense. Eventually, give it till week 6 or 7, they'll be kicking on all cylinders, assuming
even
no
then,
injuries.
I don't think it would be like the Chiefs, though. Like, I don't expect
definitely
Mac to go. What was Mahomes? He was 31 of 39 for 5 touchdowns,
disgusting.
and
it was disgusting.
300, 400 yards. It was an ass kick. But then you look at the Packers, another successful organization with. I like Matt LaFleur as a coach. They sucked. Their leading receiver was their running back. So I don't know, struggles across
and they
the
have
board.
Aaron Rodgers, who regardless, I mean, I know that Pat said last week that he's a little over the hill, which I don't disagree, whatever. But I mean, they have Aaron Rodgers. So it's just every single week is different. You know, you got the opponents you're going against, the offense, how it's going. Like the Chiefs are a well-oiled machine. Even though they have different personnel, their personnel can still kind of slide in. You put Juju in there. You still got McCole Hardman. You still got Travis Kelce, who is really, we're coming to find out, is the cog that makes that all go. And you got Andy Reid, who is an offensive, no, what's his name? Eric Bieniemy is the OC over there.
Yeah,
they have that type of offense. The Patriots are they're installing a new system, new things. They have a second-year quarterback who the one thing I noticed with Mac, kind of just to go back to him, other than Mac, by the way, his back injury, he's good to go. So
I was wondering
that thing. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't even want to give it any more light because I don't want to put that out in the universe.
All I've heard
Mac
about
Jones,
from
healthy,
every Patriots fan since.
He's fine. Did you notice that Mac Jones had a lot more leeway or say in the offense, like coming in the huddle or like at the line? Did you notice that he was doing a lot more talking, a lot more, motions,
I definitely noticed
all that stuff.
I feel like he's always had like a decent command where he's like, he ran the Alabama offense. So he had to captivate a receiving core of all first round picks, all studs, tons of offensive linemen, an incredible running back. He had a NFL offense in college. So you have to be captivating enough to get their attention. But I'm still not seeing like the audibles, line of scrimmage and whatnot. And it's early. Peyton Manning didn't call any audibles his first like 2 years. He didn't win shit. His first year, they were the worst team in the league. Second year, they were still pretty bad, but like they're getting better. And then, Peyton Manning, year 5, 6, and 7, he's up there. Omaha, switching plays entirely, moving the offense. It's a run. No, fuck that. I'm throwing deep, completely changing everything. It's a natural progression. So I didn't see that from Mac, but I'm not expecting to see that either. I like that he was bold, though. I like that he went out and took the shot to Devontae Parker. He threw it deep to Jonnu Smith. He had the pass to Kendrick Bourne. He's trying.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, and he did. And I kind of asked, I asked the thing about Mac Jones at the line because I did notice, and maybe it was just, I don't know, like what the, I don't even know how you figure it out.
I was looking at everyone. I wasn't entirely looking at Mac. I was more kind of more focused on the defense because I was like, this is the bread and butter of the Patriots. The run game too is important to me. Mac did not have my entire focus because you said that. I'm going to look specifically the entire offense, only look at Mac this upcoming game.
Look against the Steelers, because it seemed like, at least to start the game, and who knows, like as the game went on, I was too upset and I was drinking too much to be noticing anything like that. But it looked like at the start that he was calling a little bit more things at the line. He'd go up there, call people, because it always seemed like he'd do his thing, and then there'd be like 2 or 3 seconds left to snap the ball, and I'm like, snap it, let's go. Like they can hear me, like they don't know that he doesn't know he has to snap it. But so it just seemed like that. So I thought that was a good thing, that it does seem like he has more control over audibles, calling different things and whatnot. There was one play I saw where he moved, I forget who was in the backfield with him. He moved him over to stop the blitz. And then I think it ended up being the completion to Jonnu Smith or something like that. But either way, looks like he does have a little bit more control, which is good. But yeah, the defense, I want to say something about the defense, but they played well. I don't have anything bad to say about them. Is Tua really a test? No. Is next week going to really be a test? Not really. Like the week 3 and 4, those are going to be your 2 first huge tests. You got Lamar Jackson and what's his name, Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be huge.
Quarterback wise, that's what's going to put. It's a nice progression though, because Mitch Trubisky is not playing bad. I bet on the Bengals. I watched every second of that game.
He's solid.
Like, fucking hell.
He's solid. Mitch Trubisky is one of those guys where it's like, all right, let's see how you can do against a kind of like a safe, competent quarterback. Because Tua is the guy who has the skill, but he also can lose games. So it's like, but now you're going against a guy that's kind of even keel. He's definitely not great. Like he can still lose games. He can still throw picks, but it's like, let's see how you do.
Never thrown a pick 6 though. I'm hoping that changes. That would be hype. His first pick
Jack Jones. Jack Jones gets it. He finally picks him off.
Any word from Marcus Jones out there? I watched the whole game. Didn't really hear much from him.
I don't know. Let me kind of just type his name into the machine here and see if anybody was talking about him. But
like I said, I was watching the defense. No sign of him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, no one's really talking. I guess he didn't play that much. I guess Miles
Like
Bryant
Jack
was the
Jones
one.
jumped him.
Miles Bryant was the one who kind of took his spot, which wasn't
Wasn't great.
not
Hopefully that
not
changes. I
yeah,
love Miles
definitely.
Bryant, but come on, man.
Yeah, definitely not great. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know, maybe the fact that we didn't hear from him is good because he didn't really give up anything big. He didn't play that much, but he was still there. Mac Wilson, number 30, the guy we got from Cleveland, he played well. He was fine all over the field. Had no issues with him. He was, running around hitting people, doing his thing. I just Devin McCourty was good. Adrian Phillips. Oh shit, that's one. Adrian Phillips with his little rib injury. I guess the Patriots medical staff and everybody's optimistic that he'll play, that it's not a serious thing. So hopefully Adrian Phillips, he doesn't miss too much time, if any time, because I think he's one of the most important players on the team or on the defense. So hopefully Adrian Phillips ends up playing, but I don't have anything bad. The only thing I'd say about the defense is I would like to see Barmore have a big game next
Yeah,
week, or maybe not even a big game, just kind
just
of
more imposing.
put him on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
I
Shake a
don't
play up for me here and there. Defensive tackles are
something.
unsung heroes. They're basically offensive linemen on the defensive end. Just kind of fuck up the middle of the run game. But like the Dolphins
Anything.
passed so much, he didn't really get much of a chance. Like there was a
Yeah.
passing attack. They didn't run the ball a whole lot. Chase Edmond had a
No.
highlight or two, but even then he was catching passes.
Yeah, yeah, there wasn't much. Oh, another highlight for Miles Bryant. So I was talking about him. Did you see the play? I forget. I think it was in the second or third quarter. I forget when, but Tua threw a ball wildly overthrew the receiver. Devin McCourty is right there. He's doing the thing where like he kind of drops to his knees a little bit because he's gonna like breadbasket catch it.
Yep.
Miles Bryant acts like he's trying to defend the ball from Devin McCourty and like tries to leap with one hand and knocks it, and it's like, oh my God, that could have been a pit. This is the shit that happens in Miami. You got our players defending our own players. You got balls getting tipped backwards perfectly right into defenders' hands. It's just, and it's not an excuse. This could happen in any week, and it's just bad luck.
Yeah.
But it's just shitty that it
So
always
would
seems
you
to
rather
happen in
him
Miami.
not tip the ball there?
I don't know what he thought because the ball, there was a 0% chance anybody other than Devin McCourty was catching the ball. If I like, it was right there.
Like,
so
it was a clean overthrow.
There was nobody behind him. It was one of those things where Bryant must not have known McCourty was there or just thought he could get it. It's just one of those things where you wish he knew, because you always see defenders do that where they go up to defend a pass or something, or like, a linebacker tips the ball and it's going right into the corner's hand, but he doesn't know he's there. Like, obviously, I wish Miles Bryant didn't tip it, but I can't fault him for that because, like, you're
like
just
it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Not even, because I guess if you don't do it, it gets intercepted.
If he did, it was 100% chance.
Yeah, normal game scenario, like it's probably very tough to tell.
Of course,
is there a receiver behind me that could get it, like type thing? And if you tip it up, most likely the defender's going to catch it. It's very rare you tip
saw it earlier in the game.
Another wide receiver catches it. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot there. I like the heads up play, but it's like you left a bigger play on the table.
Yeah,
that's what sucks.
Exactly. I can't fault him. It's just it's just when bad things happen, they continue to happen. It's like,
and that was the Legion of Boom's big thing, claim to success. One was their hawk roll tackle method, but the other one was, if you cannot intercept the ball yourself, tip it up and leave the chance for another defender to get it.
Yeah.
Malcolm Smith did it to seal a game against the 49ers. Like, that was their big thing, and I think a lot of teams kind of carried over. I think it's a great way to go.
It is, but it's just, you wish that somehow, like, he wasn't in position to get, but it's one of those things where if he doesn't try to get it, he is thinking to himself, like, what is coach got? Like, what are they going to think where I'm not? So again, I don't fault him.
If I just watched the ball go over my head, like,
exactly. Yeah.
Granted, he had to extend for it. It wasn't
he had
an easy
to do,
tip either.
he had to do things, but it's just bad luck. So,
and then it's like, because what if Devin McCourty got that? That's one of the fastest guys, if not our fastest defender. Like,
what if
let
he
him
gets
put
that?
the wheels on it?
because I think they were on like, I think he would have picked it off at like the Patriots 40 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
So
was close to midfield.
it was good. It was going to be good field position. And like, I don't even remember what the score was at that point. I just remember that it was still a game where the Patriots could win. And it's just like, fuck, man, like right there. But they just, I don't, it just everything bad that could have happened. This was the no good game on Sunday, but I don't know. I'm still not sitting here saying that, the sky is falling, that the season's over. It's just one of those things where it's a loss. It sucks. It's a loss that neither one of us, or that I feel like a lot of Patriots fans didn't factor in. So you almost have to try to find a win somewhere else to stick with whatever schedule you're going with, which brings me to real quick. I want to bring it up because I said it last week. Any game the Patriots wear their red throwbacks on, they're going to win. So they're wearing them against the Lions. They're also wearing them the first game they play the Bills. So I have to switch that to a win. So I did not think that was going to be a win. So in my eyes, the Patriots have an 8-game winning streak this year.
Also, let the record show Buffalo didn't look great.
Dude, they have 4 turnovers. That's not good. You won because like you are like a good team and you overcame it.
They were tied at halftime.
The Rams weren't playing well. So
if the Rams didn't roll over and die in the second half, that's a close game. The Rams can score points. They won the fucking Super Bowl. They were one of the highest scoring offenses.
The Rams had the same shitty game the Patriots had.
Yeah.
The same type of game.
But everyone's still overreacting like the Rams are going to be the worst team in the league this year. Super Bowl hangover.
Who's that behind me?
I was just watching.
I was waiting to see too.
Throw something at the window.
No, okay. They got 2 dogs. Okay, so that's why if you're not watching and you're just listening, you probably wonder why I went silent for a second. We both saw the person behind me at the same time. But yeah, no, the Rams had a horrible week too. But it's like they had the benefit of playing Thursday. If you play Thursday, by the time Sunday night comes, everybody forgot what happened because there's so much football.
Thursday game.
So much football. I remembered, but I wasn't. It didn't like you would have had to remind me that they played. It's one of those things. So it's like the horrible game for the Rams. The Bengals lost too. So it's like we're saying
horrible games for a lot of good teams. Packers,
at the end
Cardinals.
of the day, a loss is a loss is a loss. It does not just like people say about wins. Doesn't matter who you beat, whatever. A win is still a win. Whether it's a good win, bad win. Loss, good loss, bad loss. It all counts the same. There's a lot of teams that are 0-1 right now that are going to make the playoffs. There's some teams that are 0-1 that I think are Super Bowl contenders. There's a lot of shit that happens week 1 that isn't going to even be thought of week 10 or week 17 or something like that. So it was a shitty week, very shitty week of football. It sucks. I hate that the Patriots lost. But it's tough for me to think that things are going to go poorly or that this is going to be how the Patriots offense is going forward or whatever, or how the defense, because it is week 1. There's still things to iron out. Wake me up week 4. We'll have a serious conversation about where we think the Patriots are going to be. But other than that, that's kind of all my thoughts for the game. It sucked. I hate it. I wish we won. It was the game we could have and should have won. Now you're in a whole 0-1 and it's a division game, which sucks. So you kind of have to win next week. Not a must win by any means. It's more of a you gotta have it. Yeah. So that's my thing. My worry meter is not even on the scale. I'm not worried at all. I give the Patriots overall a C grade for this game. Just very average. They did some things well. They did some things poorly. Take some extra credit, study a little bit more. You'll pass the class. That's how I feel about it. So what are your closing thoughts on this game?
Ugly, uncharacteristic, more penalties than we expect from a Bill Belichick-led team. So it all comes down to first game of the season woes, getting everything in order. Like you said, not worried about it, not psyched at the product we see on the field. I say it every chance I get. We are Patriots fans. We demand excellence. Our standard, our bar is head and shoulders above, really 31 other teams, like maybe
All of them,
30.
I would
If
say.
we
Yeah,
if we
almost
count
all of them.
The Chiefs is pretty up there, but they're still, they were fucking terrible for most of the 2000s. We have had consistent excellence forever. We just have a higher standard. So clean it up, and once again, we expect greatness next week. So ugly, put it behind us. We've had ugly games before. Tom Brady got blown up by the Chiefs, won the Super Bowl that year.
It's that simple. Not every week isn't the end of the world, or it's not the best thing ever if you win or lose. So it sounds like an optimistic outlook or one of those, sunshine and rainbows. That's not what it is. It's just Patriots fans realizing that it's week 1 and you have 16 more weeks to go. So, and the fact that you started 1-3 last year. So
Yes.
everybody chill out. I think a reason you should be excited next week, you're going to Pittsburgh. Normally that'd be an awesome game. That's a prime time, Patriots, Steelers, huge game. I feel like a lot of fans are down on both teams right now. But this should be a win, not only because it's Mitch Trubisky back there, but TJ Watt, arguably a top 3 defensive player. I wouldn't even say arguably one of the top 3 defensive players in the league. He is at the very least out for the next for this game, and I think he didn't tear his tendon, he tore the muscle or something, so I guess he's not going to have surgery. He's going to be back in like 8 weeks around there. But either way, he's not going to be back for this game. That's a huge thing for an offensive line that needs to have a really good game, because when Mac has time to throw, he's throwing lasers to people for the most part. He's making the right decision. So I still have not wavered. I think this is a win. You're going against Mitch Trubisky and Mike Tomlin, who great coach.
Yep.
I don't have faith that he's gonna be able to rally the troops and beat the Patriots. I think the Steelers are gonna come out with that attitude that Tomlin has, where it's like, oh, no one's gonna doubt us. We're fired up, running with their heads on fire and all that stuff. But I don't think that's gonna last. I think the water will eventually find its level. I think the Patriots win. So I forget what my score prediction was, but I don't care what the score is at this point. I think the Patriots win. I think it's a relatively good game. And you know what? Kendrick Bourne has a touchdown. I think that's going to be my bold prediction. I think he has maybe not even a great game, but yeah, I think he has a touchdown. So I'm still pulling for the Patriots next week. I'm hoping that this win kind of soothes the Matt Patricia haters out there, but should be a win. What's your thoughts about the Steelers before we head out and go wallow in misery some more?
I think this is a great scenario for the Patriots here. Steelers are coming off a wild overtime win where basically it looked like neither team wanted to win, but they won. They feel fucking fantastic about it.
Yep.
No matter how ugly it was, they probably think that they dominated all the way through, and that the Bengals just got lucky on, some fucking on Jamar Chase really just balling out toward the end. But they're riding high. They have all the confidence in the world, and I think that gets used against them. The Patriots have owned the Steelers for a long, long time, basically our entire reign.
Yep.
I have the utmost confidence. Bill Belichick against Mitch Trubisky, who is prone to make plenty of mistakes. He'll give you some balls to pick off. I have so much confidence in the Patriots. Their running game, now that TJ Watt's out, Minka Fitzpatrick is one of the best safeties, if not the best safety in the league. I worry about him.
For sure.
He had a pick 6 on the opening fucking play.
I know.
Madness, but he's the only one I'm worried about. Their defense is not the steel curtain anymore. It's not even the Joey Porter-led mean defense from the 2000s when they won Super Bowls. Their corners are unspectacular. This is a chance for Patriots running backs and wide receivers to go out there and ball out. Tight ends is a little tougher for me because they have studs. Miles Jack's a beast. Devin Bush, they didn't re-up his contract. I still think he's a great player, even though he's young and kind of unproven. So their linebackers are another reason for concern. Overall, this is supposed to be, and I believe, an offensive showcase for the Patriots to go, hey, last week was an anomaly. Bill's focused on the offense. He wants that to be flawless. And the defense is as reliable as it gets. So I expect the same production from the defense with more offense. And that is an unargued win for me.
I'm more confident about this game than I was going into the Miami game. And
He
that's
was utterly confident, so I can't even say that. But
I was very confident about that, but the one drawback again is just, oh, this is Miami going into this Steelers game. Like even before they won, and they're going to be riding high, and it's going to be one of those things where like there's a new dog in town. Like the Steelers are coming around, all that stuff. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think that the Patriots go out there. I don't think they lose 2 games to start the year. I also don't want that to happen because I don't want to deal with the bullshit that's going to come with that. So yeah, I am very confident. I'm like I said, a smidge more confident going into this game than I was with the Dolphins game. It's like you said, this is going to be hopefully some sort of an offensive showcase for, at the very least, just Mac. I want a good game from Mac, clean game, no sacks. That'd be ideal. And let's just go get Kendrick Bourne involved, get some jet sweeps. And I swear to God, if you jet sweep with Kendrick Bourne, you will win the game. So the second that happens, just know the Patriots are winning the game if you get a jet sweep with Bourne.
As much as, and I do agree, Kendrick Bourne should and will have a score in this game. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for Damian Harris. Damian Harris is going to punch one in this game. He
was running very
the fucking ball and wasn't rewarded for his hard work. So this week's going to come around and Bill's going to go, you were grinding last week. And we completely phased you out in the second half because we could not keep running the ball.
They had to. Yep.
So this time from Jump Street, you're going to get the ball 10 times on the first drive, and you're going to be fed heavily throughout this game. Ramondre too.
Yeah, it worked for both of them when both of them touched the ball. I mean, granted, of course, you're not ripping off 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards every play, but just the running game was working well on that first drive, and then the game got out of hand, like you said, and they couldn't do it. So, yeah, I would love to see a big game from Damian Harris too, because that means that sets up the play action. I think play action, you get a shot to Kendrick Bourne. I can see it down the left sideline, some 35-yard pass Kendrick or something. Cool or I don't care. Anybody. It could be Devontae Parker. I don't care.
Pick some dudes out of the stand wearing a Patriots jersey, throw it to him. As long as it goes for a touchdown, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. Give me a touchdown. Give me a win. And I think we are both on the same page. This should be a win. Hopefully settles everybody down because this is a long season. 17 games. We're 0-1. A lot of other really good teams are 0-1 as well. So if anything, you are in good company. So I got nothing else. I still don't feel great about the loss. I'm still upset. So
it's going to be better until we get a better performance. Up until Sunday at 1 o'clock, I'm going to have it.
Won't be
foul taste in my mouth. And I'm not going to.
That's how it's going to be. And then, of course, once the Patriots win, we'll come in here, guns blazing, ready to go. Celebratory episode, but that's all. So everybody, hopefully this helped a little bit therapy for that loss in Miami. If it didn't, don't worry. Sunday, whole new game. It's going to be a win. Don't worry about it. So for Liam McDade, Mike Sullivan here, this was Tuck Rule Takes, the Tully Banta-Kane episode. Go Pats. Everybody get ready. You're going to trounce the Steelers next week, get this shit back on track. Let's fucking go.
I don't know what a Steeler is, but it'll be a bad day to be one.
We're going to bend them. We're going to bend the Steelers. Let's go. Sweepy.